Hi everybody, welcome to Cap at Home. Today we are going to be making pop-up paper portraits. I'm Miss Allie and let's get started. Today the materials we're going to need are a glue stick, scissors, a marker, a pencil, and 4 different colored paper sheets. So, with your 4 different colors, you're going to pick one that's going to be your background color. So I'm going to choose this bright yellow as my background. So I'm actually going to set that aside. And then I'm going to choose the color I want to be my face. So I'm going to choose this light purple. Doesn't have to be real face color, but it is a lighter color, so that helps. The first thing I'm going to do is take my colored paper and fold it in half. I'm going to make sure I have a really good crease on that. I'm going to open that back up. Take my scissors and cut along that folded line. Doesn't have to be perfect. That definitely is not, but that's okay. Alright, so then I'm going to set half of my paper aside, and I'm going to take half of it. I'm actually going to clean up this line a little bit. I'm going to take half of that, and I'm going to fold the 2 sides in a little bit. So about a 1/2 inch on both sides, just like that. I'm going to make sure I have a really good fold again, really good crease. I'm going to do this on both sides, about that much. And this is how our face is going to pop up. So I'm going to grab my background paper, and I'm going to grab my glue stick, and I'm going to glue the 2 folds of my paper. I'm just going to glue on both sides the 2 folds. Alright. And with my paper, I'm going to take 1 fold down. And I'm going to try and guess about the middle, but again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to place that fold down, run my fingers on it to make sure that it stays. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, but I'm going to make sure that there's this dome shape so it's sticking up still. And I'm going to run my fingers on the inside so that way it stands up. So this is our face. So I'm going to set this aside again, and I'm going to grab my extra piece of paper, and this is what we're going to use to make the rest of the facial features. So the first thing that we're going to do is actually take this paper and fold it in half. Again, so fold it in half the long ways. I'm going to open it back up, and I'm going to cut on this line. Alright. Just going to clean up my line a little bit. Alright, and so this is our neck. So we're actually going to take this rectangle, you're going to glue it, take your glue stick, and I'm making a pile of all my little scraps over here, so it is easy to clean up later. But I'm going to take my glue stick, glue on the back, and I'm actually going to put it on the inside of here, on the inside. And if it's a little too long, that's okay, because you can just fold it right underneath your paper. You don't even have to cut it off, you can just fold it right in there. So your neck should go actually underneath your head, the bubble part. Okay, so now we have your neck, and we have our head. So now with the rest of this paper, we got to cut out a couple things. So first thing I'm going to do is take my pencil, and I'm going to draw a circle. And I'm actually going to do it in marker so you can see what I'm drawing. So I just did a circle like this. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. And this is actually going to be your ears. So we're going to cut out the circle. Doesn't have to be perfect. Circle, and I'm going to cut it, or going to fold it in half. No, fold it in half. Then I'm going to cut along the fold. And these are your ears. And if you did it with marker and you want to not see these lines, just flip them over and glue that marker part down. So I'm going to set those aside for a second because we have to cut out our nose. So to make our nose shape, we're just going to cut out a small rectangle on this extra piece of paper. So I'm just going to cut about that much in. I'm going to make a long nose, so I'm going to make it about that size. All right, putting my scrap paper aside. I have this shape, and I'm actually just going to glue those two top pieces of paper, the two tops of this paper. So I'm just going to put a little glue on the top here. Like this. And if you want, you can make a little dent in it, so it goes a little bit like that. So now I'm going to take this piece of paper and I'm going to glue these couple things on here. So I'm going to take my nose, funky little nose, and I'm going to glue right on the back side, right this. And I'm going to glue this onto the middle of my paper, and it might help to put your hand underneath to be able to glue it down. And I'm going to press so this way you're not squishing your dome. All right. So we have like that. So now I'm going to add the ears. So again, I'm just going to glue the back side. All right. And I'm just going to put the ears on the sides. It's actually gluing right onto the background paper, but it reaches right to the side. Right up to the side of the head, so your paper should look like this. So, the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to make these shoulders. So, an easy way to do this is take your paper that you want to be, this will be their third colored paper, we're going to make the shoulders out of. So whatever you want your shoulders to be made out of, you're going to choose that color paper. So we're actually just going to fold this directly in half, the hot dog style. All right, we're going to open that up and we're going to cut along this line again. All right, and so this is going to be my shirt or shoulder colors, and I can see that my paper is a little too big for this piece of paper, so that's okay. I'm just going to cut a little bit off the sides here. That makes some great scrap paper for later. So now I have this, and so I'm actually going to round the edges to make it look like shoulders. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to start. When I get up to the corners, I'm just going to round. I'm going to do that on both sides. All right, and so now I have this type of shape. So I can go ahead and glue this down, and I actually like to have it a little bit extra so I can fold that under so I can get the exact amount of space I want in between the head and the shoulders. So let's say I want it to be about there. So I'm actually just going to glue this top part. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down right in the middle. And I'm going to fold this over again like that. So that way it's no extra cutting. Okay. So now we have a lot of scrap paper over here, but we're going to go switch to another color and make some hair. So now I have long straight hair. So to make straight hair, all you need to do is cut some strips, straight lines. If you have curly hair, you can actually wrap strips around your pencil. So I'm going to cut out a couple strips and tell you what I mean. So I chose blue hair. Obviously, we do not have purple faces and blue hair, but I figure it's kind of fun. Plus, it's the paper I had around. It doesn't have to look like you. This is just a fun little exercise. So let's say I'm going to cut out a couple more. And you can make the strips as thick or thin as you want them to be. And they also don't have to be straight lines. I'm not using a ruler or anything. I'm just going ahead and cutting them. So I have 6 strips of paper. So let's start with this. So this is my straight one. If I wanted to attach it just straight, I'm actually going to fold down this top part. And that way when I glue it, I can glue it on the top part just like this. So it'll actually just stay right on your head. It's an easy way to attach it. Let's say I wanted to make this curly. I could take my marker or my pencil and I can wrap it around like this. I'm just wrapping it around. And now I would have some kind of curly, wavy hair. You could also, if you really want to get some little crazy with it, you could do the accordion fold method. So folding your paper forward, back, over and over again. And then you can kind of get some really funky hair. So we almost have some zigzag looking hair like this. So it's totally up to you. So since I have a couple different styles, maybe I'll get a little funky and do both styles. Since I've already started that way. You can also do more than one color for your hair. Let's say you dye your hair or you have highlights in your hair. You can also do multiple colors. Again, it's up to you. Your hair could be rainbow if you want. Okay. So I'm going to do one more zigzag shape. And if you have short hair, then the only thing you have to do different is make shorter strips. So that's easy enough. Alright, so now I have a couple of strips. I'm going to go ahead and glue the top part of my fold. And I'm just going to go ahead and attach it right there on the side. So it kind of hangs down like that. And I'm going to do a kind of curly Q one next to that. Again, I have my top fold. I'm going to go ahead and glue that. Alright, and so I'm going to do, and if you want to switch around, maybe twist it more, that's totally up to you. Like this, I got some funky hair going on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that again on the other side. So I have my crimp piece. I'm going to go ahead and attach the folded side down here really good. And I'm going to do the same thing with the wavy piece. Now I got some crazy looking hair going on, but that's good. So I actually have one extra strip, so I'm going to make one more. So I'll do one on each side. Alright. So let's just to be fun, we'll make these straight. So I have strands of every different style. So again, I made my folds. I'm just going to glue. Got some scrap paper on my glue. Just going to glue these folds at the top and attach them right on there. Make this one go like that. Here's my fold. Again, I'm just attaching it on the side right there. So this is the start. So now the other thing that we can do is add some bangs. And so to do that, all I'm going to do is actually cut a little piece, let's say, about like this little rectangle, like this. And I'm just going to actually make some slits going up, but I'm not going to go all the way to the top. So I'm just kind of making some slits like this. So I'm going to do a few more of these. It can be as wide as you like. Alright, so I'm actually going to, again, make a little fold at the top. And then I'm going to glue that fold. So again, fold, glue. And then all I'm going to do is attach that part to the rim of my head, like this. All right, so we got some funky hair going on, probably every style. And the other option that you can do is if you'd like to add a little bit of like top hair, all you have to do is make a little dome shaped line with your pencil, and I'm going to do that in pen so you can see what I'm drawing. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Alright, so I have this shape, and so this can also just help make it a little bit more like a head. Alright, so, and I like to glue it so it can go right inside, like that. So if you're looking at it from behind, you see that top part. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and glue it. So I'm going to glue the entire back because we're gluing it right on the background. All right, I'm going to press this down. All right, and so we're looking pretty good. We just got a couple more things to add. So the one other thing we got to add is eyes. So I have a little scrap paper of white. If you don't have any white paper, that's okay. All you have to do is actually just draw it right on your head. But I'm going to take my marker, and I have my scrap piece of paper, of white paper. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to draw a circle. All right, and I'm going to cut this out, and the reason I fold it in half is that whatever you cut out, you now have two of the exact same shape. I'm going to cut this out like this. So now I have two eyes. And I'm just going to make a little outline on this one since my other one has a black Sharpie outline. And I'm going to draw a little black circle, a little black dot in the middle. Be as big or as small as you want it to be, and it can be any style of eyes. It's up to you. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue these on. Alright, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did when I was gluing down my nose. I'm going to put my hand underneath it, and I'm going to put both eyes right on, using my finger, or my hand, as like a background. So I put my eyes right by my nose. So we are almost done. We just got to add a couple details. So this is where your marker comes in handy, or if you want to use scrap paper, that works too. So I'm actually going to draw some eyebrows. And they're going to be right up by her bangs. And I might even add a few eyelashes. Like this. And for your mouth, you can draw your mouth, or you can use some scrap paper to cut out some, but I'm actually just gonna go ahead and draw some with my marker. And you can color it in if you want. You can add teeth. It's totally up to you. So I'm just going ahead and adding this in. And you can even add some dimples if you like. And the other things you could do is you could add some lines to your ears. You could add some earrings, like so. If you have long hair, you might not see them, but that's okay. You could even add some texture onto your shirt. You could add a shirt line. You could add a necklace if you wanted. You can use as many different colors as you want, and you could even decorate the background if you wanted. You could add some fun patterns. So the decorating and the details is totally up to you, but that is how you make your pop-up paper portrait. So before we are completely done, there's a couple more things that we have to do, and that means we have to clean up. So the important thing to remember is that you have your markers and you have your caps on your markers, you have your cap on your glue sticks. All the scrap paper that you can't use anymore, you can throw away, and the scrap paper that's big enough to use again, you can set aside for another project. So I can still use all of this, but the rest of this I'm going to go ahead and throw away. So make sure you clean up all of your scraps. I have a trash bin down here, so I'm just tossing it right over here. And when your space looks exactly like it did when we started, then you are all set. So then you can show off your awesome paper portrait. If you made one today with us, I'd love you to post it into the comments of this video. And that way, if you even want to give it a name, that's great. And that way we can see what everyone else did. Until then, I hope you guys enjoyed, and tune in at 1 p.m. to see our next Cap at Home project. Thanks, guys.